When you look for a pre-owned motorcycle, you don't just look at surface scratches on the paint. You don't just look at the mileage. You don't just look at the tire wear. You look at the entire motorcycle front to rear. It's easy to walk onto our showroom and go up here and go, oh yeah, 3,500 miles. Nobody rode that one very much. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to show you just a little bit more about how to determine about buying a used motorcycle. Hey, it's Ricky at Harley-Davidson of Columbia. And you know, when you get ready to buy a pre-owned motorcycle, there's a lot of stuff to consider besides price. And you always want to make sure you get a fair deal, but it's really more important to make sure that you're in the right ballpark before you do it. So let's look at some things that cause the value of a used motorcycle, number one, to change. And number two, why our motorcycles here at Harley-Davidson of Columbia are such a great value to other things. Let's start at the front of the bike. Let's start with the tires. Every single motorcycle out there has tires on it. Some have good tires, some have bad tires, and so when you're checking for a motorcycle, a pre-owned motorcycle, you want to look at the tread depth. Anything less than 3/32 is unacceptable tread depth. We got a gauge available. You want to come look at it? Check on any motorcycle we got in the floor. We probably have put new tires on probably 70 or 80% of the bikes on the floor. That's just what we do. Same thing with brake pads. Check this out. Guess which one is the brake pad that's worn out? Guess which one is the brand new brake pad? Look at the difference. You can't look at a brake pad from behind and not know that it doesn't need replaced, and yet when you buy one from an individual or even some other dealers, you're always going to find those pads replaced. We're looking at them. Same thing here. Check this muffler. See the bluing in the muffler? Blue in the muffler is because of a lean running condition, mostly. If you look at one of our motorcycles and the mufflers are blue, it's probably because it had a tuning issue. We've straightened the tuning issue out and we've replaced the blue muffler. Shiny chrome mufflers. It stands out. It's one of the first things you see. Look at the front of the bike, the front lower legs. Look at this one. See those scrapes all across right there? Scrapes on the front lower legs and a little bit of corrosion on the front lower legs is not normal. Sometimes it happens on bikes, but it's the things we look for. When you see one of our pre-owned bikes, that's been replaced, it's been repaired, it's been taken care of. We sell a lot of used touring bikes, and when you look at a used touring bike, you've got to look at the condition of the paint. You've got to look at the surface scratches and things like that. One of the things you'll see regularly on a pre-owned touring bike is right here on this leading edge of the fairing. It's kind of hard to see on this camera, it's not a high-def camera, but you see that scraped edge right there and see how it runs across. When you look at a fairing on a pre-owned bike, the fairing is the first thing you see, is the leading paint edge, so it's supposed to be in pristine condition. I think you're going to find all of our bikes to look just like that. Here's another thing that you'll see on a lot of bikes. Customers will have various little nicks and dings and scratches in their bikes, and so they'll get there and they'll touch them up. See the way these have been touched up on this bike? Well, obviously, what we do is we take those painted parts and we get them completely repaired. So we remove the tank, we get the tank repainted, put it back. All of our surfaces on all of our bikes, when you look at them on the showroom floor, they're going to look just like new bikes. You're barely going to be able to tell the difference. Here's another great piece. Once again, we sell a lot of pre-owned touring bikes, and when you look at them, look at the tops of the saddlebags. People have dragged their feet across the tops of the saddlebags. See those leading edges? See those edges right there? Surface scratches aren't deal breakers, but the things that got to be taken care of, and that's what we do. Lower fork tins. On the front of a bike, you see the lower fork tin on a dresser, and look at the lower fork tins. Well, sometimes when you look all the way around it, see that dent? That dent may be on the back edge where you can see it where the bike bottomed out once or twice before. It's not a deal breaker, but still, it needs to be repaired. You're buying a pre-owned bike, but you're not expecting it to look like it's been ridden hard and put away wet. Same thing here. A lot of times, and you'll see this especially on first-time riders, they'll buy a motorcycle and sometimes they'll drop it in the garage. See that? It's hard to see once again, but see that leading edge of that mirror right there? See those scratches all across there? That's what will happen. A customer will drop a bike. We replace the mirrors. Our bike doesn't look like it got dropped in the garage. It looks like it's been repaired. It's been fixed. It looks like it's showroom perfect now. Same thing here, Screaming Eagle bike. This is a 2008 Screaming Eagle Road King in pristine condition, except for one thing. Look at the size of that dent right there in the front fender. You can't sell a bike with a dent like that, and no, it's not a deal breaker. It's not the biggest dent in the world, but you're not going to see our $20-something thousand 2008 Screaming Eagle Road King on the showroom floor with a dented fender. It just doesn't look right. And then the last thing that you're going to see when we do our bikes is that everything's been completely serviced. So whether it's just an oil change or a 10,000 mile service has been done. So the oil, the filters, If the battery's not holding the proper charge, and a lot of times customers may have traded a motorcycle because they don't ride it much anymore, and so when they trade the motorcycle, it needs a new battery. We replace that. Transmission fluid, brake fluid, and front fork oil, all been done. And another funny thing you'll see a lot of times is a customer trade a bike and just didn't know where their keys were. So guess what? There's 2 keys with an audio set. Here's what you do. Come to Harley-Davidson in Columbia, I-65 and exit 46 in Columbia, Tennessee, and take a look at our motorcycles compared to anybody else's that you'll see on the market anywhere. I think you'll be pleased with what you find. Or look at us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the net at www.hdcolumbia.com.